Yo, what's going on, guys? We're here in Destiny. We're gonna be talking about Destiny 2 that happened over the weekend. Not, not over the weekend. That didn't happen over the weekend. I don't know why I said that. It happened 2 days ago when I'm recording this, and basically didn't watch any of the. If you didn't watch anything, and you didn't watch any of those YouTubers, hundreds of YouTubers that were there, but then I'm here to talk to you about everything that happened. Cause I was watching some of the stuff. I watched the reveal stream. I watched some gameplay, so I kind of know the stuff. We're gonna talk about it, give my thoughts. Hopefully, you guys have your thoughts. So basically, I wasn't fortunate enough to get invited out to this event. I know, right? It's like, come on, like how did I not get invited out? Whatever. It's besides the point. But let's talk about it. So, the first thing that you notice when you go in Destiny is the HUD, obviously, 'cause it's the first thing you see, and it's very similar to the way we play now. It has very similar look. Radar is the same. Weapons look very similar. And that's all good because you really don't want to be going into a game to call Destiny and just have it not be Destiny. Like not look like it, not feel like it. So the fact that they have similar HUDs, similar graphics, radar is the same, like it was all very similar, and that's a good thing. A lot of people do like the way it is. I mean, I like the way this radar looks and all that stuff. Well, I don't like how the radar has the... Oh, should I have my AC on? Turn that off. Probably hear that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you see how it's like the red up there, how it's like stuck, and it's not really like a pinpointing exactly. That's like whatever. I mean, it's very easy to just find someone, so it's not really that big of a deal. But it's good. It's all right. It's what matters. Like as long as it's not terrible, which it's not terrible. It looks good, in my opinion, from what I was able to play. It looked good, and probably plays good too. I don't know. We'll get into the next thing though, which basically the next thing they talk about is the story. Oh shit, I'm getting attacked here. There we go. Next thing we get into is the story. So basically, this game, if you played the Taken King, and you played the Bond Brothers strike, which I was just in and I didn't. Damn it! That was the perfect strike to show too. But basically what happened was, you do the Bond Brothers strike, and then you hear Cade say like, there's a signal going out to the Cabal saying that like their Legion has been destroyed or whatever, and stuff like that. That is basically Destiny 2. You have the Red Legion. They come out and they're like, yo, you fucked with our shit, so we're gonna fuck with their shit, you know? So they come and they capture the tower. You lose... The Guardians all apparently lose their light, but the weird thing is you see in the gameplay that everyone has supers, but that's like... That's post... That's before the tower gets captured. In the gameplay, they show the first mission. It's called Homecoming. You're getting... The tower's under attack and shit, and you run over and you try and save it, but it's already too late. The speaker's gone missing, the Traveler gets captured, and then apparently all Guardians lose their light, except for the one that you play as or something like that. They're not really specific. They don't really say what happens to your guy, but something happens that keeps you from losing your ghost and your Guardian and all that. And you have to go to these different planets and find Zavala, Ikora, and Cade. And the planets are... Zavala is on this... Well, they're not planets. Some of them are moons and stuff. So, like, there's this moon called Titan. I think they're all moons, now I think about it. There's Moon, Nessus, and Io. I'm not scientifically correct here. I'm not really sure which one's which. I think they're all moons. Maybe Nessus is a planet. Oh, I'm so dead. But, oh, well, something just came up on my screen here. Let's get this out of here. So unprofessional. I'm sorry. But, so, yeah. So, you basically just gotta find them, gotta help them out a bit, and then they play with you, you know, they help you out. And it's pretty cool, because you can see in the reveal, they have, like, Cade, not even have Cade, they have, Ikora and Zavala, both, like, helping you, and they help you attack. And, like, so, it's kind of like, we never had that in Destiny. We never had any players or any CPU help us out to kind of just... They were never there, actually, now that I think about it. There was no CPU allies. There was all just NPCs and Crucible players that we play in Destiny. Oh shit, I'm still gonna die again. Fuck me. But, it's cool that they're adding that. And I guess it's because of the next-gen technology. But, I mean, you could say that, but that was also way back in the day on 360. They had plenty of that in Halo. So, like, they could have done that in Halo. But it's whatever. It's cool. It's just a lot of feedback was taken from Destiny over the past 3 years that they're taking in addition to now, which is good. What else? What else? Well, here's the thing about the story. They said that the story is the most cinematic and it's a lot longer. It's the longest Destiny campaign that we've had. Notice they said Destiny. They didn't say, oh shit. They didn't say it's the longest, like, campaign they've had, because Halo 2 was long. Halo 1, Halo was long. And Destiny has had just short and non-specific campaigns. And that kind of scares me. And it's just like, are they gonna fuck up with this game? Like, is this game gonna be short? Like, are we gonna be, like, expecting something huge? Because, like, if you look... back in the first mission, like, in the Destiny campaign reveal... Destiny 2 campaign reveal, my bad. From a few days ago. You're in the first mission, and you already come into... You come to face-to-face with Gaul. Gaul is the boss. He's the main villain that you're going to be going after in this game. The Cabal is attacking you. They're known as the Red Legion, and their main enemy is known as... their main hero... Well, their hero, our villain, is known as... Dominus Gaul or something like that. Everyone's going to call him Gaul or Gary. Gary was from the Destiny trailer that everyone saw, and they're going to be saying Gary a lot. But, yeah, but you go face-to-face with him in the first mission. So that kind of makes me think, like, we're going face-to-face with this guy already? What the fuck is going to happen if we're going face-to-face with him in the first mission? That's what I think, at least. Like, I don't know if you guys think that means, oh, it's going to be a short campaign. Because, like, in The Taken King, you come into face with Oryx, like, right away. You come into contact with the Taken, and then you fucking, what's it called? Like, you do, like, 4 missions, and then you fight him. So that's basically everything. It's kind of sad. And then Rise of Iron was 5 story missions long, and don't even get me started with how short fucking Dark Below was. That was 3 story missions. So, it's like, is this gonna be long? Is it really, is it gonna be, like, Destiny long, or is it gonna be, like, game story long? That's what I want to know. But next up we have, we get to talk about the weaponry. The weaponry's a little different. Let me show you this. Ready? Let's go into the pause screen right here. So basically, how Destiny works now is that you have your primary weapons, which consist of pulse rifles, hand cannons, scout rifles, and auto rifles. Unfortunately, I do not have auto rifles on this screen. That's a shame. And then you have the special weapons, which are shotguns, snipers, fusion rifles, and sidearms. Then you have your heavy weapons, which are machine guns, rocket launchers, and swords. And the super simulant. That's an exception. However, what they're doing now is that they're having something called kinetic weapons, which are basically this gun, like how they don't have any element on it, kinetic damage. Then they're having elemental weapons, which are also primary weapons, but have elements on them. And then they're having power weapons, which are special and heavy in their own category. They moved the special weapons over to heavy, except for sidearms. Sidearms are still staying on this elemental side. And then they have the heavy weapons, which are machine guns, fusion rifles, sniper rifles, and shotguns. Those are all over here now. So, they changed it up a little. They also added SMGs. I don't know if I just said that already. I probably just said that. They added SMGs, and those are going to be primaries. They won't be in the heavy. So how you could basically have 2 primary weapons, one of them as an element, and then you have your special / heavy weapon. Oh no! Oh shit! What just happened? Okay, we're gonna have our own drone now. That's good. Let's switch to this in the meantime. Switch to that. In the meantime, let's keep talking. So, I think it's pretty cool how they did that. It's just gonna be a little weird. Just gonna have to get used to that. Did we just kill Omnigul already? No, we didn't. Okay. But yeah, so like that's a little cool. It's a little different. I guess that's basically. I think that's what they ideally wanted way back in the day, because seeing like the original Destiny 1 reveal way back in 2013, they showed off what's it called? Like they were showing this gameplay, and they had a hand cannon as a secondary, and they had like all this other stuff that was pretty cool. And they changed it back then. They had Thunderlord as an exotic even way back in the day, and it's still an exotic, which is cool. But like they had hand cannons as secondaries, and they changed it up. They made hand cannons primaries, as you can see now. Everyone knows that. So that's like, it's cool how they're basic. Like I don't know why they kind of changed it up like that for this game. Maybe it was like something that they didn't have originally planned, but now they could do it, and they are doing it. So it's pretty cool. Now let's talk about. Well, actually, before we move on, so what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about your thoughts on having 2 primaries and a power weapon, as they call it? Because that's, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, it's definitely taking some feedback. Like, they seem to have taken a lot of feedback. We're gonna get more into that. We're gonna get more into that in a few minutes. This is gonna be a long video, I just realized. We're already 11 minutes in. I'm talking a lot. So we got abilities next. And most of the abilities, honestly, are very similar to Destiny 1. We're going to talk about how all the similarities are transferring over in a little bit. But, for example, the Warlock still has their... Like, the Hunter still has... We'll start with the Hunter, because I'm playing as a Hunter right now. Hunter still has their super high jump. I mean, I'm using triple jump right now. I don't know if they have triple jump, but they still have a high jump. They still have this kind of jump, too. They have the golden gun still, but the golden gun now shoots 6 shots. From what I was able to see, I'm not 100% sure on that, but it looked like they had it. And then they had this thing, they had like an extra, like a newer version of Blade Dancer, which was, I think it was called Arc something. I don't remember what it was called, I'm sorry. I gotta look it up, but I don't want to look it up right now. But, it was an extended version of Blade Dancer, basically. It was just like the blade was bigger and they did more dance moves. That's literally the only difference. It's still very similar to Blade Dancer. And the Warlock has, they still have the Firebolt grenade, if you know that. It's the grenade that you throw, makes a ring, and then just beams out to someone, kind of like that. And that's cool. They bring some stuff back, but they have a new super. I guess it's from the Sun Singer class, or the Sun whatever it's called. I don't even remember exactly what it's called. Sun Singer class, yeah. The Sun Singer class. It's called Dawnbreak now, and instead of having Radiance as your ability, you do something with some swords. You throw some swords, kind of similar to the Titan Sunbreaker Hammer of Soul, but instead of a hammer, it's swords, and you're throwing swords. It's really, it's similar still. But then we move on to the Titan. And the Titan has this thing called Fists of Havoc. And instead of Fist of Havoc, it's Fists. Like, you do multiple hits. But they don't seem as strong, which is good. And they just seem like they go after more people, which is good. That's fine. I'm totally cool with that. If it's weaker and you could, like, last longer, cool. I'm totally fine with that. And they also have, like, if you look at my screen right now, you have the LB ability, and you have the RB ability. Like that, like I just did right there. There's also a third button. There's like a one in between. That's called class ability. So if you have a Warlock, like each class has different ability. Warlock, Hunter, Titan. And that doesn't look like there's gonna be any more classes than that. But it looks like we're gonna have this special ability. Like if you hold down B, from what I was able to see from gameplay, or maybe it was square because I was like, there's PlayStation gameplay, so square. So for Xbox, it would be X, the reload button. If you hold down X, you will have this class ability to be used, and the class ability for the Hunter was like this. It was kind of like Shade Step. If you double tap B, you will go like you'll do this slide. But what it does for you is you reload when you do it, so it's pretty cool. So like it saves you time and shit. And then the Warlock has this thing called a Rift. Basically, you know what a Rift is if you played the game mode Rift. But it's not. That's the thing, it's not. It's, you place down this, like, area. It's, like, about from, like, here to here. It's like a circle. It's kind of wide. And you could have a healing one or a damage one. One of those two. It's basically as wide as this. It's about this big. And players stand in it. And the Titan has an ability to have a barricade. And you can shoot through the barricade, and when every time you aim in, you shoot, and then when you aim out, you get like an instant reload. Which they might have to fix that. That seems a little OP right now. They'll probably change it so you reload super fast or something, I don't know. But I think it's pretty cool. They added some stuff into it. What do you guys think about that? They made some changes to the classes. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that. So that could probably definitely help out with PvE. Like, there's this perk called Guerrilla Warfighter in this game, and how it works is that if you're crouched behind something, I gotta find something that it works with. I think it works with this. So if you're crouched behind something, like this, and you press the left trigger, like I'm just pressing left trigger right now, and it aims up. There's a perk that when you're in that mode, you do like increased damage, and that works with nothing in this game. No one uses that. Like, when have you stood crouched behind there? Never. You're always up here or some shit. So, it's just dumb. Stuff like that's dumb. But, in Destiny 2, it might be a little better, so... Oh, look, let's go to the pit. Even though I already have Necrochasm. So yeah, that's alright. That's cool. It changes the way we play. And there's also... Let me show you this. With also Destiny stuff... we're just gonna dismantle this, I don't need it. Destiny, you know how we have the intellect, discipline, strength? That's not there in Destiny 2 from the gameplay. The cooldowns were universal. So, like, there was no... So, like, everyone's super... If you just stood there, you just threw a nade, everyone threw a nade at the same time, it would all recharge at the same time. Which, when we get to Crucible, when we talk about that, that's cool. I'm getting to Crucible shortly. When we get there, that's cool. That's cool and all. But... that changes a lot of the variety and class building that a lot of players are going to have. In my opinion. Because, like, I like to build a loadout based on using abilities for Warlocks. Like, I like to make Tier 5 Intellect... No, not Tier 5 Intellect. Tier 5 Discipline with nothing manical scatter grenades on my Warlocks, so I could just spam scatter grenades across the map. Like, I could play an entire raid just using scatter grenades and not shooting because of that. Which is awesome. I love doing that. That's so cool. But now in Destiny 2, maybe this is pre-alpha. This is before anything. This is just early gameplay. There's nothing specific here. So that's all subject to change. Everything I'm saying here could be subject to change. So we don't know. But as of right now, it's looking like it's set in stone. So who knows? Maybe it's just gonna stay that way. I mean, I'm fine with it for PvP, but I play more PvE than PvP, so just gonna have to see what they do. I mean, I think there was armor, and their special abilities were like increases recharge of grenades, like it was that. But like you have to find certain armor pieces that have that. You can't just have armor that has increased discipline and increased like all that other stuff, like how I could just take this helmet right here and just switch to fucking like more discipline like that. Like I can't do that. But it's whatever, man. Now let's get into... I'm turning a page if you could hear that. Let's get into the social aspects because and then Crucible. Crucible's next, guys. I'm sorry, but social aspects. This is a long video. I can tell. We're on 19 minutes right now, but it's alright. We gotta talk about Destiny. That's fine. So. Social aspects, they've been listening to Destiny's complaints for a long time, you could just tell. And everyone was able to everyone had to go on Destiny LFGs, they had to go on Bungie forums for looking for groups, they had to go on Twitter and everything. And it was just stupid. Like, no one had direct access to finding people in Destiny. And now you can. They're adding these two things called guided games and What's the other thing? Guided games and clan finder. And guided games basically, say you're playing by yourself like I am right now, and you need to find a group for a raid. Instead of going on Destiny LFG, on the internet, just anywhere to find a person, you could just go on this guided games thing, look for a group that says like, that has like a group of 5 with them right now, and their thing is open for people to join. You could join it, and then you can play with them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's in the game. You don't have to worry about going so far out of the way. And then they have this thing called clans, which, if you didn't figure out what clans are, you can make a clan in the game instead of having to go on other forms of the internet. I mean, they do have Bungie clans on Bungie.net, so I guess it's going to be linked up to that somehow, some way, which is cool. That's cool and all. But yeah, so now we have Destiny clans. Now we have these guided games things. So they're basically trying to emphasize you'll never play this game alone, which was the original plan in Destiny, in this game, in the original Destiny, because if you remember, you have these patrol things, and you always, like, I'm doing a strike with 3 people right now. Some guy just lost, so really I'm doing it with 2. But the original plan was so you always are playing with someone, but you can't really talk to them, and they don't want to do the same thing you do sometimes. But now, when you play Destiny 2, you'll be playing with the same people that want to be doing the same thing. Like, you'll be playing a group of people to do Nightfall Strike and to complete the Nightfall Strike. You won't just have a random, like, you can't matchmake for the Nightfall Strike, but like, if you do LFG, you're gonna find a group of people for the Nightfall Strike that are just like, yeah, I just want to get this done. I don't want to do it your way. I don't care. I just want to fucking get this done and whatever. Like, I've had groups that are like that. I've had to find random people that literally would not say a single word during the strike. They would just do it, leave the party, never talk to you again. Not a thank you, not anything, just leave. With this, you have a better chance of having a more friendlier environment, which I like. That's nice. And what do you guys think of that? Like, it's pretty cool. Oh, also, speaking of social stuff, I forgot to mention patrol stuff in Destiny. So, you have your strikes. You see we're doing strikes right now. That's returning. Basically, same way as always. Then you have. They didn't mention anything about social spaces, from what I'm aware of, but they mentioned this thing about patrols, and it's just you have now a map of the area that you can go to, and you can do stuff in them, and yeah, that's cool. And there's stuff called treasure maps. So now there's like hidden treasures in the patrol areas. There's what was the other one? Lost sectors, which is pretty cool. And I think there's even like, I think you're gonna see side missions, and you're gonna see more livelihood in the patrol areas. Because most of them they're just circles, you know. You'd spawn, you'd choose left or right, and then you could go around the entire map from that way. Like, that was basically it. And Destiny 2 is probably just gonna change that up. It's probably gonna be like, I don't even know. Like, they didn't really talk about much. They just said like what's gonna be in it, and that's it. And you don't have to go to orbit anymore, which is awesome. Really cool, because like I hate, like, if I wanted to just go straight to the tower, I can do that now. I don't have to go to orbit, look at the loading screen, then go to the tower, and then wait for that loading screen, then I'm in the tower. I can just go from killing enemies, and then choose to go to the tower, and then go to the tower. But I don't know if that's going to be that's just an example of what you could do. I don't think there's a social space yet. They haven't said anything about social spaces yet in Destiny. In Destiny 2, so who knows. Finally, we're getting to the Crucible. Crucible's pretty cool now. Like I said, it was the universal cooldown stuff. That's good for Crucible. Everything is now going to be 4v4 instead of 6v6 or 3v3. Everything is 4v4 now, from what they mentioned, including Trials of Osiris, which is 3v3. And Trials of Osiris, if you don't know how Trials of Osiris works, it's a one life game mode with revives, which they added another one. They have a new game mode called Countdown. If you don't know what Countdown is, If you know what Call of Duty Search and Destroy is, it's that. It's literally that, except your team has a total of 4 revives a game. A round, not a game. A round. And now that's like, oh, well, there's 4 people per team, so you just revive one person each. Well, what if someone goes down a lot? Then that's kind of controversial. It makes you think who you want to revive and stuff, which is cool. And there's really nothing else to say. It's just it's a 4v4 search and destroy game mode in Destiny. So, what do you guys think of that? I don't know. I think it's cool. Nice search and destroy game mode in Destiny. I can deal with that. But I'm hoping there's more stuff. Because that's the only game mode that they mentioned. They did say more game modes, but they weren't specific. Obviously, we're probably going to see more later on in the year. So that's cool. But, like, what kind of game modes would they make? Like, they're probably going to bring back Rift, Control, Clash. And probably going to bring back Iron Banner. I don't see why they wouldn't bring back Iron Banner. But I'm just hoping they will. They talked about Trials a bunch. So, Trials of Osiris, 100% returning. I just hope it returns at launch rather than a DLC. Because that was just annoying how the game required you to play DLC to play game mode. But it's whatever. What are you gonna do? Also, there was a loading screen. Like, you know how you can do this? You like hit the right stick here, interact with someone. And you see this. Now, I saw one screen had a player count thing, and it said 2 of 26 here. 26 players instead of 16. This game could hold 16 people at a social space. But now, apparently it could hold 26. So, if they're keeping 4v4 multiplayer game modes, my thought process is, if you could hold 26 people in a social space, then you gotta do a 26-player game mode. Like, you gotta do a 13v13 big team something, because Halo upgraded from that. Bungie made 8v8 Slayers, and then 343 Industries with Next Gen brought the 12v12 Warzone game mode. And that was awesome. Warzone was pretty cool. And not only was it just 12v12 players, there was also AI in it, so maybe they could have had more players in it. But who knows, really. They could have done whatever with that. Oh my god. But, who knows, the 13v13 game mode in Destiny, I think that'd be pretty cool. I would love to see that. I would love to play it. Because, like, stuff like that, that's just what people just, like, the big game modes, especially with, like, something like Battlefield, when you're playing 32v32 in Battlefield, it's just, you don't take it seriously. You just fuck around, you just have a good time. And that's what I'm hoping to see with Destiny 2, just a game mode just to fuck around and have fun with some people, especially if you're having a big party. Like, Xbox Live can support 16 players in a party chat. So, I'm thinking, like, you could have this on, at least on Xbox. Probably on, if you didn't know, the game's coming to PC, so you probably have it on PC too. And yeah, it's just like they gotta do stuff with like, I feel like, as we're approaching the end of this video, by the way, like, I'm basically talking about everything I need to. I feel like they're just trying to rehash everything they did in Destiny 1, because here's the thing with that. They already announced, oh shit, they already announced 2 DLCs for the game, and the expansion pass, already. Oh, come on, God. Whatever. Yeah, they already announced that there's 2 DLCs coming out, and when Destiny Year 1 was out, there was 2 DLCs confirmed. The expansion pass is the same price as Destiny 1's expansion pass was. So, I'm a little nervous to think that, are we gonna have the same thing from the past 3 years? Are we gonna have the same cycle? Not the same cycle. I don't want to say same cycle of content. It's not gonna be the same cycle of content. We're gonna have the same cycle that we did the past 3 years with Destiny, because I have a friend that I'm really mad at, and I think he knows who he is if he watches this video, who bought Destiny the collection for $60, and he had access to everything that I did, and I had to spend $165 plus tax. I mean, that's probably close to $180 to have the same experience that he had. And that really bothers me. Because it's like, wow, I could just wait 2 years and play this game. I didn't have to play this game at launch. If I have to go through that same experience, if I have to, like, honestly, I kind of want to just, like, if I know that this is gonna happen, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think they realize that that's not gonna, they don't want to make that happen again. But then again, Activision has been known as money whores lately with the Call of Duty community. But if they have something similar to that, then I don't know, maybe it's just worth waiting 2 years to play the game. You know what I mean? Like, because why would I want to spend $60 at launch, spend $35 on the expansion pass, and then hopefully year 2 they're gonna make another expansion pass with $40. You're gonna play it, and then year 3 they're gonna have the $30 expansion, and then all of a sudden they're gonna be like, oh yeah, you can just get everything for $60 now. And it's like, wow, did I really just waste 2 years worth of my money on this? I could have just waited 2 years, man. But yeah, that's basically going to come to an end to this video. Did I cover everything? Yeah, I think I got everything that I wrote down. Yeah, I did write some stuff down. All in all, though, Bungie has listened to what we've been talking about for the past 3 years about, why can't I revive this guy? There we go, finally. All in all, though, I think Destiny's going to be, it should be good. It's basically, if you like Destiny 1, and they have very similar stuff from Destiny 2, they branched off of community feedback, so it should be good. That expansion stuff is just scaring me, though. But, yeah. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And, yeah. That's basically going to end the video. Leave a like, subscribe, do all that crazy stuff down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.